Hi.
Look at your face.
I was like, hi.
Hi guys.
Hi everyone and welcome to
In
IMWT Trust. This is our reflection.
Yes.
We were supposed to start recording 1 hour back, but we were gossiping.
Yeah. As we must.
We can't see on camera, but as we must. And now we are down to business. So you're
Look at us matching.
But this was not planned. That's
Not
the
at
best
all,
part.
guys. We didn't plan this.
She came home and I was like, dude, wait. We should totally get pictures.
Yes. Guys, we are back with another reflection video.
Reflection on the last
Besties
podcast
Before the
episode.
Resties, yes.
Besties Before the Resties. That was a
And-
nice one. I was missing.
Yeah, and she wasn't there. Malika was there, and we completely, totally missed you.
That's
And-
bullshit because I remember Rahul saying we don't miss you, Malvika.
But he said
and
it-
Priyank was like, no, I'm not of that opinion.
But you realize, right? Him saying it means we were
I was
missing you.
totally missed. I am the most important person on the podcast. No, but let's talk about it. I love not being there because I think the three of you have a friendship and a chemistry.
Yeah.
But how did you feel?
It was fun, exciting. I thought I was going to get more secrets out, but I couldn't, so I was a little disappointed. But honestly, it was fun because Priyank was on there, and then Rahul is like my new friend now.
Husband and his best
Yeah,
friend.
his
How
best
cool is
friend,
it?
yeah. And now I've started to get to know Rahul too, right? So it's been fun knowing him and knowing more like funky things about him. So it's nice. It was good. It was a good combination of them and us and
Yeah.
doing that podcast, and it was a good topic. I think
Yeah.
a lot of good points came out, which we
Yeah.
should definitely discuss.
Yeah, and I also think what I liked was that they were two guys. We've not done this before, and we talk so much about female friendships. For me, it was very different because I was like, okay, let's see how these two best friends, but guy best friends, are talking about things.
Yeah.
And I really liked, like certain things resonated with me a lot. I loved what they spoke about in terms of when you show up for people.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily what you show on social media.
Yeah.
In terms of, oh, I did this, so we were at this party together, but when you're showing up in real time for real challenges. And one thing that I love that Priyank said was, if you feel efforted in a relationship or a friendship, then is it even a very solid, safe space?
Exactly.
Because a good friendship doesn't make you feel so like you have to check or second guess yourself so much. You know? I love that.
I agree. And yesterday, it's so funny. Yesterday, he's rewatching it, okay? Priyank is rewatching the episode and he's like, damn, we spoke really deep stuff. And
Actually-
he's like, we don't usually talk about these things, and we never have ever spoken like this in front of other people. So this was a good thing, but also this was surprising for him too.
But I think that's what the podcast does, right, guys? And tell us if you think that too, because I've been reflecting on this, Akshaya, that you start with something, right? And maybe it may start superficially or it may start at a certain level, but then when you talk 10, 20, 40 minutes into the topic, it's going to be a deep dive.
Exactly. And specifically on the showing up part, right? The question. It was so funny. Okay, I'm asking them questions and I'm now going off script. I haven't asked them questions that I actually told them that I would be asking because they were anxious, so I had to show or share a few questions with them so that they can just think of stuff they want
Like
to
prompts
discuss.
to
Just like a few minutes before. So now I was going off script because I was like so into this showing up part of discussion. So I was like so blah blah, and I was just going off, and like Priyank is like doing the hand gesture to cut it out.
I didn't notice this.
Yeah, because I edited it out.
Like,
I
bus
cropped-
Akshaya, bus
yeah,
Akshaya.
he's like cut it out, and then I also cropped a part out because he's like, you're stretching this too much, because I think that made him uncomfortable, or it made them like think about some things that they have never thought about.
But it's not easy, Akshaya.
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
also the field that we come from, we are used to talking on and off camera about things that are deep and we talk about it at length. But
Right.
it's not easy. I think it takes guts and courage to
Exactly.
talk about what they did. And it was a long podcast episode. It was 40 minutes.
Exactly, yeah.
So it's not easy.
I mean, I thought it would be longer because there were two people. Also, I wanted them to speak their heart out and not just like, give us short answers or a one word answer. Because that's what they do.
Yeah.
Like whenever
Guys.
I chat with them, guys, and whenever I chat with Priyank and Rahul, they're just giving me like sarcastic one-word answers, or like
this is a shout out to all my male friends also, because what is this? Are you okay? Do you miss me? This evening I was messaging on my Vashi group of friends. And you all know Melvin because he was on our Men and Mental Health podcast. And I was like, Melvin, are you missing me?
Wow.
Like, answer yes or no.
Yeah, simple.
Very
yes
cheeky.
or no.
Yeah, men have weird,
right?
Yeah, communication.
Yeah. But I enjoyed it because I could like probe them a little, and they were conscious, right? So they had no choice but to answer me.
Yeah.
So I know they were like still sitting stiff in the start, and they were like, what do we do? What do we say? And oh, we have to answer her. So they were conscious.
Yeah.
So they were consciously answering at first, and then they, I think, got into the rhythm of it. But I still think they were conscious. And I think that was just because the camera was in front of them.
Yeah.
Because I know how they are, right? I see them. You have met them. They're
We
completely.
played paddle together, guys.
Yeah.
Rahul has also played paddle. He's good also.
Yeah, and they're completely chill, typical Bombay guys, or those katte wale boys. They're typical. So we know they have a lot of like masti. But it was just that we had to chat with them. We had to ask them questions, and
That's my fire alarm.
fun.
Fun fact, fire alarms in Dubai buildings just ring all the time. So there's a lot of false fire alarms.
Yeah, we had this on a Sunday morning at 9 a.m. when I am in deep sleep. When I
And Akshay sleeps till the noon on Sunday.
noon is
Understatement?
yeah, it's an understatement. What?
Also, fun fact, my husband calls this recess. He's like, recess, recess ho gaya.
Yeah, that was recess. It was the same then.
Also, sorry about all of this, but I'm back.
No, I also have weird scruffy throat. It's just in the air.
And this is not a pleasant sight to watch.
Well,
Deal with it.
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. You look cute with the red nose.
Rudolph. That's later. That's for December.
So yeah, it was a fun episode. We definitely had a few controversial statements from them. One of it was them not having girls in the group, and that's why.
Yeah, we decided we'll speak about it.
Yeah, that's why the group is successful apparently. But so I was just chatting with them after the recording was done, right? And I was like, guys, why did you say that? Or what are you saying? So they were like, it never happened that girls came into the group. Second, we were all very conscious boys, and we were typical boys.
I was also thinking about
right? So we didn't know how to approach girls to bring them into our group as friends. The only angle that we could look at it from a relationship was not from a friendship angle. So,
and I also think when you're young, very young, I think this idea across gender is if a partner enters, it changes the equation of the friendship.
that too. So
But
now,
I'm hoping that as 30-plus-year-old men, Rahul, Priyank, and everybody else, all other men, don't think like that, because I think mixed groups or when women enter groups or when men enter women's groups, I don't think it needs to be awkward. It can be a solid space.
Yeah, I think the guys never thought it from that angle. They never thought of the whole vibe changing, but they understood it when these boys started having partners. Like they were starting to date, and being in a small city, like not small, but in a in a space or a township where everyone knows everyone. it becomes hard for boys to not date the same girl in a span of a few years, right?
Oh my god.
So I mean, they just use this as an example that
Yeah.
things would happen like such, and because of their bro code or whatever, it would just become a little awkward. And so they started obviously being more conscious of bringing girls into their lives, who they dated and who they became friends with. So
Okay.
that's how that conversation happened. So I know it felt like it was like a big statement to have, and it's not nice to, I don't want to use the word, but discriminate. But I understand what they felt. And plus, as teenage boys and girls, I don't think we can look at friendships from plain friendship, platonic relationship kind of an angle. It's hard because we all have a lot of hormones and emotions.
Yeah, no, I remember when I watched it and then we discussed this and I said that I'm still glad that they are saying this and you didn't cut it and send it to me and it was as raw because I think in the podcast we don't only need to have people that we completely agree with or who we completely understand. We can, and of course in this case, though they meant the same things that we mean, but it came across a little differently. But even in general, I feel on our podcast we can call people whose opinions are different from us, even in the future, and that's okay. Yeah, we are all human beings existing in this world, and so not everybody is going to be the same shade of black.
Exactly, and I think I appreciate differences in opinion,
Yeah.
because that only means that those people are very secure in their ways of living,
Yeah.
their choices they make, which gives you strength to be how you're wanting to be, right? And so I think that conversation also brought out for me is that being friends with someone with their quirks and your own quirks being in that relationship, you should be okay with it. You should be secure in it. For example, I have friends, girlfriends who are, who have like very weird behaviors.
Yeah.
They have certain things they do that is very different from what I do. But I'm okay with it, right?
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
Even like I'm just thinking if two people have very different political views, for example, can you coexist in a space? Sure, why not?
Exactly.
If there's a space of discussion and where we are both agreeing to disagree.
That was one of the
Respectfully.
questions, right? I asked in the podcast to these guys that what happens when you have differences in opinions or thoughts, and they were like, we agree to disagree.
Absolutely.
We are adults. We have realized that we will definitely have different ways of thinking, doing stuff, because all of what we do comes from our experience or experiences from what we see has worked or has a success rate better than others. And so that's what we think is the right way, but that's not how it works in life. And so I really like that they are okay with it, and I've seen them having very hard conversations. I've seen Priyank and Rahul have like political conversations or financial conversations of where to invest, what to do, how to do, and they both think very differently. They think so differently that like there was like it felt like a heated discussion, but at the end of the night they were just cheersing and moving on, and which I really appreciated. So two things that I took out of that whole conversation is, first, the security that they had. First, they didn't even budge a little bit to say a statement like we didn't have girls in the group, right? Because they're very secure in their own friendship and in their own circle. And they were like, it doesn't matter at this point, whoever thinks whatever, we don't care. We are going to be friends with each other, and that's solid. So that was one thing that I was like, okay, you have to be secure in any relationship to vouch for it to an extent where you're sitting in front of a camera and saying, I'm going to be friends with this person until until time separates us. But I was like then maybe thinking about my own friendships. I was like, do I have friendships like such? I mean, I do. I was just like thinking about situations. Would I ever in front of a camera say things like this for my friends, with my friends? And the second thing was that the differences in opinion part is taking away the fact that it's okay to have completely opposite, polar opposite opinions with other people, but also how do you be respectful of each other, and then still continue to build on the relationship.
Absolutely.
So I really enjoyed those 2 points that I take it as a takeaway. I want to start using them in my own life, and I think
I also feel very similar. Even that one part, where Priyank and Rahul are talking about what have you done for people, like your good friends, and they said that the extension of effort and time, you may have a very hard day, but if someone's traveling for you, you will spend that time. I think their friendship, and something that stays with me also in my reflections, that friendships should be one where even if you don't spend time for 2 months, 2 years, but when there is an opportunity, let's spend quality time. Let there be not too much space for competition and jealousy and envy, but just appreciating each other's funny moments, gestures, quirks, and remembering why we were friends in the first place. I think I'll stay with that.
And I think it's like that pure, genuine feeling for that other person.
Yeah.
Yes, I want to meet you. I don't care how I get there.
Yeah.
I can probably take a bus or a train or a cycle if I have to come to you. But I'll still come because I want to meet you, and we are in the same city, same time zone. I'm going to do it.
Do anything, just.
Yeah, and that makes so much sense, because that I think is one of my love languages in friendships, is showing up for the other person in physical proximity if you're close by. Because I realized, especially when I was away and not having my friends around during COVID, you miss that. That was lacking, right, in your life.
Absolutely.
You couldn't have people next to you. So I think that value just increased of having people around you in close proximity, and then doing this gesture of coming and meeting you and spending time with you, which I did. I remember this friend of mine, she at the time lived in Philadelphia, which was about 4 hours from DC.
Okay.
And she was packing up, about to move back to India or something like that, and her name is Ashwini. I call her Ashwini D. She's just a few years older to me, but we go back many years. Again, 4G family, so we were neighbors at one point, and many years passed, and we were in the same college. She was still my senior. We still hung out. Then she had her own friend, moved on. Stuff, life happened, right? And then I moved to the US, so lost touch completely. And then she moved to the US. Again, we briefly spoke for a few, with a few text exchanges. That, oh, you're coming to US, oh my god, we got to meet, and nothing happened. And then finally, when she was about to move out, she graduated, she was about to move out, she was like, what are you doing? And I was like, I'm just like bored, I don't know what to do, I need a break. And she's like, why don't you come over?
Yeah.
I just got up, took a bus, and I gone to her place, not thinking twice that I'm just going to someone's place. I haven't seen her in so many years. I just got up and I left, and I went there. I had the best time.
Yeah, that's so lovely.
I'm not even kidding. I had the best time. We did very relaxed things. We went around Philly. We had coffees. We had some work, so we would just pick up coffees, and we would sit in her, the apartment building, the whole area. They had like nice gardens underneath the building, so we would go sit there with our coffees, with our computers. We would just work on our stuff, and then in the evening she just took me for a stroll in the park, and they had live salsa happening. Like,
I know you like dancing.
So then we just danced, and she is also like a fun, like she also dances well, and so we just had so much fun. And then what else did we do? We had Indian food. That was fun. We came back home and we watched K-dramas, and then just fell asleep to K-dramas. I mean, just imagine, it was such a
the whole day sounds beautiful.
She even took me to like a rooftop open free amphitheater where they were playing some Spider-Man multiverse movie, which we both love, and we were just sitting there eating some kurkure or something, or some chips. I mean, it was just so relaxing. It was just so nice.
Yeah.
But she is one of those people who I think transcends time, space. And I was like, oh, this is someone I would love to, keep meeting even after a long times have passed. And so, shout out to Ashwini.
But I also have a shout out story.
Yes, do it.
Because when you were saying this, I remembered Sneha, my friend, who also happens to be our common friend. If you remember episode 1 where we spoke about how we met.
Yeah.
One of the two people who know both of us is Sneha. So both of us were in Xavier's together, but then she moved to Canada shortly after graduation. And so, we were just 17, 18, right? And she would come back like once in 2 years. And I still remember the first time she came back, and in my head, even though we were talking and chatting and doing video calls, there was always this, oh my god, she's coming from Canada, so will there be a certain attitude, will there be an accent, how is it going to be like? And we stayed in different corners of the city. Okay, I'm from Kurla, she's from Vasai, and we would go to college to Xavier's, which is South Bombay. So I remember she came, and then the following week we were like, let's meet at Colaba Causeway, because that was our thing. Sneha remembers this. It used to be our thing. We used to shop, and then we used to eat a Kayani breakfast, and then go to Sahibar and eat Chinese. That was our once a month, thing.
Yeah.
So when she came back the first time, that's what we did.
Yeah.
We went to Colaba Causeway, and in my head I'm like, this one doesn't look like a Canada return. She has done the bargaining in at Causeway like she is more Mumbai than me.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, for the earrings and the dupattas and the kolapuris that we buy. And then we went to Sahibar, and Akshay, it became a tradition. Every time Sneha came back from Canada, Sneha, you know this, we've gone to Sahibar in Colaba and we've eaten Chinese.
That's so nice.
Yeah, so I think, like you said, it transcends time and progress and rich and what we're doing in life, and you become those two girls from college.
Yes, I agree.
It's beautiful.
Yeah,
beautiful.
it's so nice. I mean, it's a space where you don't have to put effort.
Oh yeah.
That I think ties it back to the podcast.
And by the way, Sneha is now 12 years into Canada, zero accident. So when I meet her even now, I always tell her this. We met last year because it was her son's first birthday, and so we met. And I remember telling her this, I said, Sneha, you are more Mumbai than any of us, because there's just, and it feels like a space where you don't have to pretend. Yeah, when you're talking about friendships, when you have a safe space like that, it just feels. We're beaming right now, right? Just thinking about these spaces.
Now, you know what I'm doing? I'm like thinking about the other friendships, other friends, other spaces like such.
Yeah.
Us being non-pretentious.
Like when we go to that Nepali place to eat momos and we are I'm sure the other people looking at us and are like, what is happening at that table?
Yeah,
on it and eating.
I read, this is the last thing, okay? I read on Instagram sometime back that me and my best friend, we are not in the same city, because if we would have been in the same city, we would have been a menace. And I can tell you that there are some friends who, if we were in the same city, we would have just taken the city
by a storm.
By a storm.
But this is to all our friends who don't live in Dubai with us. We love you.
I love you guys. Miss you guys. I hope you all come to Dubai and we do podcasts with each of you. Separate ones.
And I'd like for both of us to meet each other's
friends.
Definitely. Because we've heard so many stories like that.
Yeah.
It'll be fun.
Definitely.
But that's us.
Guys, thank you so much for listening in. This was our reflection on the podcast Besties
Before the Resties.
It was with Priyank and Rahul. Thanks
Priyank and Rahul.
For doing the episode. I know they were very conscious,
but thank you. That takes
to bribe them.
What do you bribe them with? Food?
Well, I'll tell you when the recording is done.
Okay.
And hope that you guys are having fun. Just leave a comment if you have memories with your friends. That would be nice.